Greetings and welcome. Now, with this process of integrating Hermetic Magic into daily life, you're looking for opportunities. You're always looking at, okay, when I do this, I can apply it. When I do that, I can apply it. When I do that, I can apply it. And you want to mind map, do a daily life mind mapping of what you do. And what this will allow you to do is to be able to practice all day, every day, through your work, through your play, through making love, through whatever your lifestyle is. You'll find a way to practice. So the next area we're going to go into is the daily walk. Now when you go for a walk, you want to go into a place where there's far more life force than what's in your body. You don't want to go for a walk down a concrete jungle. You want to go through a walk through a green jungle, a green forest. The bigger the trees, the more powerful the trees, the more profound the effect. So what I want you to do is get into this routine of before sunrise, get up, get ready, have your morning coffee, whatever your routine is, and then get out before the sun and walk to a place where you can watch the sun rise if that's possible. When you're walking up, your vital breathing, and you'll notice that a lot of places will have a morning mist on the ground, especially if there's green plants and grass. It'll cover the ground, and it may be anywhere up to a foot thick, or sometimes it's only an inch, but it's there. Anywhere there's a life force, you have condensed, the morning dew is condensed life force in the dew. That water element is exceptionally powerful. If you're fortunate enough to live near a beach, you go for a walk on the beach line where the water and the land meet. You have this 1 meter wide cloud, and you just walk along that junction point. There's huge amounts of negative ions and energy collecting at the mixing point. If you can go through a nature trail, go up through the nature trail. Go to a place where there's much more power than what's in your body. The next thing to do is expand your mental body to encompass the trees around you that you're walking through. So greet them, say hello to them, go into union with them, send love to them, send blessings, send prayer. This is your morning prayer time. You fill your mental astral body with sacredness and prayer, connect to your deity, and radiate it out and bless all the trees, bless nature around where you're walking, and you do your walk. Once you get to a point where the morning sun comes up, you concentrate your pineal gland and the third eye to the sun, and just for that first few minutes, about 4 minutes or so of the morning rays coming over the horizon, you collect that in your third eye and you let it pass through your pineal gland. The sun produces that much light, it goes straight through the body. It goes straight through your bones, it goes through everything. There's a ton of light inside the dark spaces of your body. You want to collect that morning sun in your pineal gland. Now, why we put it in the pineal gland and bring it through the physical eyes and relax it back into the center of gravity, the mental body, is the morning sun activates something. There's a cycle inside your psyche that when those first 4 minutes of morning sun hit your spirit, it activates a type of genius within you. It activates a type of spiritual awareness, a synchronicity with your spiritual nature. Something very special happens. So if you take the time to put yourself in a place where you can indulge in that rising sun and really feel that spiritual essence passing through your third eye and cleaning your pineal gland, you'll get a tremendous amount of benefit out of it. What I suggest is if you need to drive to a location where there's a hill that you can walk up the hill a little bit, take that extra 10 minutes to get to that hill driving. It's very, very well worth it. If you have a dog, just take your dog for an early morning walk, and your mental relationship to the space as you walk up, the sacredness, entering into prayer, walking in a state of prayer, offering a blessing from your deity that you work with. If you're Christian, you're going to be working with Christ consciousness and be radiating Christ consciousness, which is the non-dual light of the mind, into all the trees to activate Christ consciousness within all those trees. If you're a Buddhist, you're going to connect to Buddha's light and the Buddha mind and that insight mind and radiate insight into all those trees around you as you walk. This 1 hour routine, if you can afford an hour, combined with the morning sun ritual of just washing your eyes for the first few minutes, as soon as I feel a little bit of ouch in my eyes, like, oh, it's getting a bit strong, I close my eyes And I do a few more minutes through my eyelids, and I just let it go straight through the eyelids. It buffers it and continues to have a nice effect. You'll find there will be a point at which it's too strong, and then you stop. Now, why does this exercise have profound effects? Now, when the sun hits the morning dew, you'll notice the morning dew steams. All that condensed life force, all that concentrated essence. And this morning dew is like sperm. There's huge amounts of spiritual power in the morning dew. It's concentrated spiritual energy on the ground. Now, as the sun hits it, it generates a steam. The life force is coming up. Now the sun moves forward. Now the last 100 kilometers behind the leading edge of sunrise, you have all this morning dew which has been rising. So you've got the sun passing through 100 kilometers of highly concentrated life force, spiritual essence, as condensed in form. So these light rays are, guess what? Highly charged with spiritual living energy. So as the spiritual living energy moves towards you, and you see the morning rays just start to peek out on the horizon. I used to love to do this on the ocean, because Australia, you get that beautiful view out to the sunrise in the ocean. And when it would hit land, you could see it starting to steam everything up. And I lived on the top of a mountain. So as those energies rose and everything's coming up, I got to indulge in all that highly concentrated life force in the mornings. Wonderful way to start the day. Now, you'll find that in certain parts of the world, or if you're in a mountainous region, it's just not possible. If you're living in a valley and there's a mountain in front of you, the sunrise, the sun's too high, it'll just burn your eyes. So you're not gonna, if you don't have the opportunity to do the exercise, you just pass on it. You want a nice long horizon leading towards the sunrise, so that it's not too yang when it hits your eyes. This rays of the sun passing through hundreds of kilometers of highly condensed life force steaming up, and then hitting your third eye, activates something inside the spirit. It wakes your spirit up. It brings you to a type of spiritual synchronicity which makes you become much more powerful within your spiritual awareness, your spiritual perceptions. It makes you a more powerful person. So what I suggest with this is, start off with just doing it on weekends. And because you're not working on Saturday, Sunday morning, quite possibly, you can get out there, really, really enjoy it. And then when you see the effect it has, there's an internal yearning inside you that wants to do it every day. Follow the yearning. Don't force yourself. Just start off with once or twice a week on the weekend, and then feel the results. And then the spirit, as the spirit wakes up, the spirit craves spiritual things. If you're functioning through your astral body seeks astral things. Spirit seeks spiritual things. And there's a craving of the spirit which arises, which goes, oh, I want that, I want to do this, I want to do that. And spiritual craving expresses itself first through the color green. It wants to be around forest, wants to be around plants, wants to be around trees, wants to be around living things. And it wants those living things to be stronger than the structure of your building. It wants that living energy to be stronger than the city karma. It wants those living energies to dominate your spiritual experience. So you end up in this type of space where you feel alive, and your mental body expresses out into all these spaces of power when you allow it to. And you crave that because it liberates you. If you've gone for a drive to the mountains, you get outside the city karma, there's you relax a bit more. As you go up the mountain, all your bills disappear, all your stresses disappear, the world disappears. And you're in nature and you go, oh wow, I love this. Why don't I do this all the time? And then you have your escape, and it's a bit like a dream, being in an alternative reality, even though you just go into the forest. And you have that alternate reality, you have that amazing experience, and you come back down the mountain and you come out of the forest, and your consciousness shifts. And then as you hit the city karma, oh, okay, I've got to pay that bill, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And all your stresses and anxieties that are fed through city karma start to bombard you again. They all come back to you. And it becomes very, very obvious that practitioners who are in resonance with spirit, they want to live in the mountain. They want to go live in the forest. They want to have more green around them than concrete, because it liberates the mind, it frees the mind, it releases you of burdens, it releases you of anxiety and stress, and you feel free. So this obvious thing becomes more obvious and becomes more dominant as a side effect of being in resonance with spirit. A part of you doesn't want to live in the concrete jungle. Part of you wants to live in the forest. So there's this back to the rural environment craving that arises, and you have to be very pragmatic about it and go, oh, what about work? How do I get an income stream? How do I, feed the family and the kids and pay the mortgage and whatnot? You've got to be very practical, because if you let it become too powerful, your intellect gets pushed to the side and your feeling of spiritual well-being dominates, and you can make financial blunders. So keep a good balance between your intuition and your intellect. Now, when you do the journaling, and I'll do a full video on this process, on this series of integrating Hermetic Magic in a daily life, is how to go through decision-making process of intuitively, I want to do this. Intellectually, is that a sound idea? Because you have a brain, and you have intuition, and your brain stops your intuition from making you do stupid things. You want to use a high level of intelligence to keep that in check. And very, very important to intelligence and intuition to constantly be in harmony so you optimize outcomes. But we'll discuss that one later. So for now, vital breathing in a forest every morning, catching that morning sun, and starting your day on a very high frequency spiritual activation exercise by welcoming the morning sun, and that spiritual yearning continues through the day and changes your perceptions of reality. It takes you into a whole different space. Okay, thank you for your time, and if you want any more of this type of content, jump on the Vimeo channel, and there are many videos there on Hermetics, Tai Chi and Qigong, going into much more detail on these particular types of exercises. Thank you for your time. See you on the next video.